morning you guys, it's Karen and we are back from our holidays. Had all of the doors replaced in the house which look lovely and I'm really pleased with them. It just changes the look of the house, you know. But what I forgot is that we'd already bought and paid for composite decking for the back garden, and this joiner, if they were good, we were going to ask to do it, and they were really good, and so they are doing the back garden. So you might hear some noise because the back garden is right behind this camera, but hopefully we can get through this without too many interruptions. I'm doing a haul today because I've bought so much, but it has been a long time since I've done a haul. So this is over the last, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, something like that. And some of these things I got for my birthday as well. So I'm going to show you a non-beauty item first. This is from Amazon. I just want to show you it because I got it a couple of days ago and have been using it, and I think it's really good. It's not a makeup I've ever heard of. It's called Brightening. It is an iPhone speaker. And I got the idea because the joiner had his little speaker in whatever room he was working in, and it just sounded perfect. You know, it's the right level. It wasn't tinny. It wasn't tinny as it sounds on the iPhone. I always mean to play music in the house, but I always forget how to connect it back to Alexa, how to start it up. It's not something I do often enough because it's just, like I said, I end up forgetting and I just think, oh, I'll not bother. But I've been using this and it's really good. And I don't know how many of you listen to music. I'd love to know this. Is music part of your everyday, or is it something that you mean to do, or do you're not a music person? Like, I'm not a music in the car person normally. I just don't bother. But as soon as I do, I really enjoy it, you know. Kev, on the other hand, he loves blaring music. And when I say blaring music, when I first started dating him, I used to go to his house and think, how's he even going to hear me? Because his music is so loud. It was like the walls were banging, but it's classical music, believe it or not, that he likes to blare, which is a bit weird to me, but there you go. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I'd love to know what you guys think, but music is one of those things that I think it can really help lift your mood. It can really help with your energy levels. You know, they say, like, be at a higher positive level. It can make you feel more positive, I think. So I always want to listen to more music, and this is just an easy way of doing it. And it was literally like, I just charged it, switched it on, there's on-off button, and then connected it to my phone and it worked. You know, it's just, there's nothing complicated about it because I'm not very good with these things. And it was £18.99, so I really rate that. You're not going to get really loud music from this. You'd need to get a bigger speaker, but it's loud enough, you know. Okay, let's talk hair care first. And I've realised I often buy things and quite quickly know they're a fail, and then I stick them in my empties and fails, and then I'm like, should it be in my empties and fails or should it be in my haul? Because I have bought it, but I've quickly decided it's no good. And what's made me think about that is this is a serum that I bought, and this is the Tresemme Beauty Full Strength, up to 99% less hair on your brush. So I bought the shampoo, the conditioner, a leave-in conditioner or a leave-in spray, and this serum. And the shampoo and conditioner I'm still using, but the leave-in spray is a no from me, and so that's in my empties and fails. So I'll talk about that more in the empties and fails. Whereas this, I'm still kind of trialing it. I've used it and it seems to be okay, but I need to use it a little bit more. What I will say is, don't rush out and buy any of it just yet, because I have not noticed any difference. I've not noticed any less hair on my brush, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for that, but I am still trialing this. Next, I bought some Moroccan Oil stuff because I am crazy about this brand, mostly for the smell. I absolutely love the smell, but I do love the Moroccan Oil. I've got several little bottles of Moroccan Oil and love using that on my hair. My hair always feels so silky, soft and tangle free when I use it. The only downside about using it is the oil is it doesn't hold, my hair doesn't hold a curl as much, but I'm not too bothered about that. But I wanted to try and find something that I could give my hair a bit of kind of body, and I was also looking for things that would maybe hold my curl a bit more when I was using my Shark, what do they call it, that special airflow thing, you know, like the Dyson one, when I was using that, because I really like the result. But I haven't been able to get it to hold as much as it did the first couple of times I used it. So that was what initially started it. And so I bought this dry texture spray, and somebody had mentioned that this was good if you were using curls, and it gives you a bit more volume, etc, etc. So I haven't tried it much, but I have to say I don't think, it doesn't seem to do much in terms of volume. Can you see that? Like, I've just sprayed some in there, and I've used other things that have given volume. Now, you might be like shouting at the screen that it's a dry texture spray. It's not supposed to give volume, it's supposed to give texture. So maybe that's it, because it might make it a bit easier to, like, I could back comb that. I don't really like doing that though. But what I found is this just makes my hair feel dry. even there, it's not, my hair still feels quite soft even though it's near to needing washed. It just feels a bit dry. It does smell absolutely gorgeous though. So I've used it a few times and I'm not that impressed with it yet. This looks very similar. Looks like I've just bought a mini, but it's not. This is the Luminous hairspray. And again, somebody else had said this is the best hairspray they've ever used. Really, really strong. And I thought, well, let me give it a go because I love my Paul Mitchell freeze frame, but it is now only coming out in like one squirt. You know, it's not a mist. And I've tried a couple of times to clean it, like under hot water to clean the nozzle, and that sometimes helps, sometimes doesn't. I've got another spray that I use, but again, that keeps getting clogged up. So I thought I need to grow up and use one with a lid. Because remember, I was always like, I didn't want one with a lid because it was easier to just grab a hold of, but clearly that causes problems with the nozzle. Anyway, this one, I haven't found this to be that great either. Such a shame because like I said, I absolutely love Moroccan Oil, but it's probably about the same as the texture spray, isn't it? It gives a little bit. And it smells amazing. I mean, I do love the smell. If you're into the Moroccan Oil smell, then it's nice to be using hair care that is that good. But I need to use them a little bit more and see what I think. But I'm not like wowed by either of those so far. This, I don't think I've tried. This is the all-in-one leave-in conditioner. And I don't think I've tried this. I'm saying I don't think because as soon as I got the bottle, I was like, that looks a little bit familiar, and it would be so like me to buy duplicates of things because I've done that for years. And in fact, when Kev and I met, it was what we talked about on our first date because I had at the time, I'd gone into town the previous day, the day before I met Kev for that first date, and I had bought a book called Psychology for Dummies. And I came home and was so pleased with myself. And then I noticed it was on my bookshelf. So I actually bought another one. And Kev was telling me about the fact that he had hired a DVD because it was in the Blockbuster days. And it was The Ransom, you know, with Mel Gibson in it. And he said he'd done it twice. He'd repeated it twice. He'd gone and gone, oh, that looks good. Came home, put it in and gone, I've already seen this, you know. So we kind of bonded over that experience. So I may well have tried this before, but so far I haven't used it because I'm trying to use the Tresemme stuff and, you know, assess that, the beautiful stuff. But again, it does smell lovely. I did spray it to see if it has that same smell, and it does. Okay, the final hair product I bought was this BB, which is Bumble and Bumble Heat Shield Thermal Protection Mist. I've wanted this for a while actually, and I had looked in the shops to see if I could find it, but I couldn't. And they're so expensive, Bumble and Bumble. I mean, Moroccan Oil stuff's quite expensive as well, but I don't mind spending money on my hair if I get the right product. If I get one that really works well, then great. Like the Aveda Volume Tonic, I think it's called. I don't even know if that exists now, by the way, but that's great for volume, and I'm happy to pay whatever, you know, to get it. So I thought I would try this. I tried this yesterday with my curling tongs. This is not using the, God, what is it called? Shark. This is not using the Shark, this is using curling tongs, but it has fallen out. But I thought it might help because somebody had commented on the reviews that it helped their curls stay in. And as a heat protector, it was okay, but I have to say my hair felt a little bit greasy last night, but now it feels all right. It doesn't feel greasy now, but after using it, it did feel a little bit greasy. So again, the jury's out so far. People commented on the smell of this as well, let me see. It's okay. It's not something I'd be like, yum. I like the Moroccan Oil one better. Okay, that's everything hair care, and now on to skincare. I bought 4 items from the brand Q+A. You may remember me talking a few years back. I got this, the Peppermint Daily Cleanser in, you know, like a beauty box, and I absolutely loved it. And I have bought it a few times since. So this is a big repeat, and it's peppermint. And I love the smell of peppermint. I think because of my migraines, I use peppermint on my forehead. So I know my skin's okay with it, and I find the scent really soothing, you know. And so I just love this cleanser. I think it's a real pleasure to use. I got all of my Q&A stuff on Amazon. So I know that I love that, and I would recommend that unless you've got sensitive skin, because, you know, peppermint's quite strong. I got this oat milk cream cleanser, which I've only used this once, and so far so good. Like, it didn't sting my eyes, it didn't make my eyes misty, you know. I took my eye makeup off with it, so far so good with that, but I need to use it a little bit more. Then I did buy, I don't have it with me, but I bought a warming gel mask. It's probably in the empties and fails, and it just didn't warm, so I wasn't amused with that one. That one was a fail. And then I bought this vitamin C Brightening Serum. I love this, I absolutely love this. I might talk about this in a favourites, but it's ascorbic acid, but because it's oil-based, it doesn't have to be you know, there's no pH applicable. It doesn't have to be a low pH, so it's not irritating at all. And that's what it looks like. So I really like this. I think it feels lovely on the skin. I really, really like it. So like I said, I may talk about that more in a favourites, but I do recommend that. They're really good prices as well. That vitamin C is £9. And like I said, I got mine from Amazon. I bought another self-tan. This is a gradual tan, and I bought this from Superdrug. I have never heard of the brand EFFN. They are, I don't know whether this product is vegan, but I know they are a cruelty-free brand, and a lot of their products are vegan, certainly. I noticed. I meant to check this one. But I like the idea of a gradual tan. There's no fragrance in this. It actually says on it with a fragrance-free gradual tan. So I tested this out the way I always do with tanners, is I put a little bit on my stomach and see how dark it is the following day, so I know, you know, do I need to use a lot? This is the medium to dark I got, by the way. You can get light to medium and medium to dark. And I could barely see any colour, so I put this on yesterday, and actually it's pretty dark. Like, I've had to put foundation down my neck a little bit, but you can see on camera there, you can quite clearly see that white ring. So it's clear how dark it is. So this is actually quite a dark one for a gradual tan. I'd be inclined to buy the light one, I think, next. I always go for the medium to dark because it's a gradual tan. I always think it's not going to show very much in a light to medium, you know. But so far so good. Like I said, it's very dark. You can see, like, around my hairline maybe the difference in colour. Darker than I was expecting, but it's actually really a really interesting formula. It's very watery when you put it on, so I put probably too much on, you know. It's really, you're like, wow, there's loads left, you know. I needed to like wipe a lot off my hands and try again, so I just did my face and neck. But so far so good, and I do love the pump. I do love a pump bottle. Okay, I've got 2 more skincare items and then on to makeup. So the skincare, I bought this. Where did I see this? I actually bought this in store, maybe in Boots. It's by the brand Dr. Paw Paw. So you may remember that he did, was it a papaya ointment? I actually only knew about it because I think they're Australian, because my Australian friend actually bought me it once. Did she bring it back from Australia or something? I can't remember why she bought it for me. Anyway, this is Your Gorgeous Skin SPF50 plus PA+++++ day cream. So it's an SPF. So this is another one I'm going to do a whole video on for you, write my notes and whatnot. But so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. And then this one is Coco Eve Daily Water Gel SPF50 plus, very high protection, UVA and UVB. This one is actually one of those pump tubes, and I also really like this for kind of different reasons. Now, this one hasn't got any of the chemicals that I don't like in it, but this one has. I think it's got octocrylene in it. But again, I'll do a full review on this and let you guys know everything about it. Let's go and get my little hand fan. This is one of the best things I have bought from Amazon. I really should do like the top 10 things I've bought from Amazon, because it's a real hit and miss with Amazon, isn't it? But I'll just turn you around a bit. But this is brilliant. I bought this years ago, a couple of years ago, and I used it on when I had a treadmill in here, because you can sort of bend it and it sat over the treadmill. I use it for when I'm drying my fake tan. I use it when I'm too hot, like now. It's just absolutely brilliant. So love it. I'll link it for you in case you're interested. Okay, makeup. I bought a couple of foundations, because do you remember I bought that Sculpted by Amy, and I said I was interested in buying a few more foundations because ones I use seem to be discontinued, like the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better. So I bought these two. I bought the Kat Von D, or the KVD, not Kat Von D anymore, is it? KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation, and I bought this Airbrush Flawless Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. I haven't tried much Charlotte Tilbury, but in Edinburgh, when I go to Edinburgh, there is a centre that now has a shop that has Charlotte Tilbury in it, so I'm able to go and have a look, which is brilliant. This, as you may have seen from my post, I love it. I absolutely love this. It's so easy to blend. It looks really lovely on the skin. It stays well on me, even in this kind of heat and humidity. It's really good. I really like it. The only issue I had with this was trying to find the right colour. Mine is 010 Cool Light, I think it is. Something like that. No, is it? I don't know. Whatever colour it is, I struggled to find exactly the right colour. Normally I can tell with foundations just by putting them on my hand, but I got it from Boots and it was really dark. It's in a really dark bit, and so I couldn't really tell the colour, because I would like to get one a little bit darker for when, like now, when I've got a fake tan on. But I do love that foundation. Then today I have on the Airbrush Flawless one, and this is in number 2, Neutral. I would probably get another one in this, which I guess would just be 3, you know. Seems like quite a simple system there. I haven't used this as much, but I do like the look of this, but I can't say how long it lasts or anything. I think it's been fine. I haven't noticed anything crazy, but I do also like this. I like the way it looks on my skin. Probably not as much as this one. This would be my favourite just now. And it's kind of made me not want to keep using the Sculpted by Amy one, because that one is definitely not as easy to blend as these two. This one's the easiest out of them, and I had it on yesterday, I think it was, or the day before yesterday, and at the end of the day I was like, actually this doesn't look good at all. And I think it's because it was the first time I'm using it in this sort of horrible heat, you know. So that's foundation. And then I bought this Laura Mercier Translucent Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Pressed Powder. This was a silly purchase really, because I don't tend to like luminous things. I think, you know, I'm so used to having oily skin and wanting to mattify that I don't like the look of anything luminous. I feel like I just look greasy. I'll put some on and see if you can see. But I just want to find a nice pressed powder, and I don't mean, I have got pressed powders that I use that are really cheap ones, like by Essence or ELF, that are fine, but you know, they're not in very nice compacts. And I thought I wanted to treat myself. I think I was using my birthday money at the time, to something that was in a nice packaging. I didn't realise this was going to be quite so thick. That's quite thick. So that's that luminous powder. So if you like luminous, I think you will like this, because it is a beautiful finish if you don't mind not looking matte, if that makes sense. And I got it in translucent. Okay, still on face, and then everything else is eyes. This is another favourite, and this is another KVD. This is the Everlasting Blush in Rosebud. I really like the packaging actually. It's not tiny. Normally I like tiny packaging, but it's not a huge, you know, sometimes to me blushes and bronzers come in just too big packaging, but this is nice. But look at that colour, isn't that gorgeous? So that's what I've got on my cheeks today. But I just love using this. It just picks up the right amount on your brush. You know, it's not so pigmented that it's all powdery when you're using it, but it's not, you don't have to really work your brush into it at all. You can tap your brush in it and that's about the right amount, and then you put it on and it blends really nice and looks really pretty, and it stays on all day. So I really, really love that. It might actually, I don't know, but I might actually finally be able to throw out my NARS blush in Sin, because I think it's quite similar. And I only keep the NARS one because I love that colour, and I've never been able to find a cruelty-free replacement, but I think this might be as close as I'm going to get. So I love that. And everything else is eyes, one way or another, because this one isn't makeup, but this is the Lash Bond by Olaplex. So it's a lash growth serum. I've been using this, actually, let me look at my calendar. I always put these things in my calendar so I remember. I've been using this for a month. I don't know how long they say, particularly for this lash serum, to see any difference, but the reviews were seeing a difference in 2 to 3 weeks, but I would normally say 6 to 8 weeks, so that the whole cycle has gone through. That's how long it's taken me in the past to see a difference. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll see a difference. So far I haven't, but I am going to report back to you once I've kind of gone to the 6 to 8 week mark and I've made a decision and taken pictures, etc. I got this brow gel. I'm pretty sure I've had KVD brow mousse before. This is in blonde. I meant to use this morning. I completely forgot. I really, really like this. I just fancied something different for my brows, because I had been using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe for so long, and occasionally I'm just like, let me try something else. And so I tried this, and I do really like this. Really nice. I think it's one of those things that this is a bit more work than just grabbing a pencil and using it, and so it's just something to use now and then, and like I said, the colour blonde suits me perfectly. Another KVD item is this Dazzle stick, and this is an eyeshadow stick, but it makes a right mess, I have to say. Now let me see if I can put it on. It's just such a beautiful colour, but it's also so messy. That's the colour. Let me see how gorgeous it is. This one is in, oh God, I'm never going to read that. Well, I haven't got it on, so it's not like you can see it on, but Electro Bolt, I think it might say. I actually, even with those glasses on, can't read it. So I have used it a couple of times, and it is really, really pretty. But there are two things about it that I don't like. One is well, you can't use it like this. You know, the idea is just that you use a stick like that, but too much comes off, it's too soft. So you're best using a brush with it. So it's a bit of a messy product. It would be better, I think, to have had this in a little pot rather than a stick. And the other thing is that there's fallout from this. So, you know, just little bits of glitter under my eyes, not the actual colour, but the glitter goes under your eyes. I've had that with a few things. I remember the Stila, their cream eyeshadows or liquid eyeshadows used to do that on me. And it did actually crease a bit as well. I used it on top of here, and I noticed I could see colour was missing, and I had to sort of, you know, touch it up partway through the day. So it's really, really pretty, but the best way to use it is with a brush and just sort of dab a little bit in the middle of your eye. But I do like it. Then I bought another mascara, shock, but that's because, as you'll see, there's one in my empties that I'm going to talk about that doesn't work as well for me anymore. But this is by Ico, and it's called Lash Alert Mascara, original black. I thought this was new, and I'm now kind of doubting myself, is it new? Because it doesn't seem that different to other Ico ones I've used. But I've only used it a couple of times, so I need to test it a little bit more. It seems to be fine so far. I do like the brush. Didn't show you it very close up, did I? I would prefer it if it was completely straight rather than that little curve. I don't find the little curve in brushes, in mascara brushes, helpful at all. Then I bought this Matte Essentials palette by Morphe. I've been more interested in matte shadows, as you guys know, over the last little while, and I thought, well, that'd be great because I've got a Morphe palette of the same size. It's cardboard though, that you may remember I used to use a lot, and I used to use it for the mattes in it. I didn't really use, there was 4 or 5 shimmers in it. So I thought this would be a great one to buy. I think I meant to buy the warm one, and I bought the cool one, and this is the colours. Some of the colours I really like I really like that, but actually all of them, even the ones that look like they're going to be brown, come out really cool. They come out kind of greyish, you know. So it's a bit too cool for me. But not only that, I used this, and then I used my Vise Up palette, I think it was, the following day, and I was like, you know what, there is a big difference. Like these Morphe, I do like Morphe shadows. They're probably my favourite, I guess, drugstore priced shadows, and they are nice, and you can make a nice look out of them, but they're not as easy to use as the more expensive ones, or some of the more expensive ones. So Vise Up, for example, and these Huda Beauty ones I'm going to talk about next as well. There is a difference to me. You know, they do make it easier to do an eyeshadow look because they blend easier. So I haven't used this that much. I wasn't even sure that I wanted to keep it, but I was like, I've put it in my eyeshadow drawer. Like, you know, you need to use this. And I was going to go ahead and order the warm one, but I've kind of held off now. I don't know. Let me know if you have tried the warm one and this one, what you think. Then finally, oops, Kev got me both of these. These were on my birthday list, and he bought me these for my birthday in June, and they are the Huda Beauty Matte Palettes. So one is Cool Matte Obsessions and one is Warm Matte Obsessions. So I was really excited about these, and when I saw them I'm just like, oh, how yummy are they? See, I don't mind a cool palette like that. If you compare these, this one is cool. I think because this cool one and this is cool, so they're both cool palettes, but they look completely different, and I think it's because this one is more grey and this one is more purple, and so it's got a bit more colour to it, you know. So I was really excited to use that. And then this one as well, this is the warm one, but I was more excited actually about the cool palette. Anyway, I started using them. I first used this cool one, and I was putting my brush in, which one's it? It's this one, I think. These two, and I was like, that's a funny texture. I was like, you know, putting my brush in and thinking, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like, I mean, it's going on okay, but I was like, it feels like it's almost like a cream. And so I put my finger in it and I was like, it is a cream. I didn't even realise that, so I had to look up the description, and it turns out that in both of these palettes, they come with a cream shadow. And I was like, oh, that's really different, a cream matte shadow. Cream to powder it is. So this is the cream, one of the cream to powder ones. And then this is the other one. And I was like, well, how unusual. I was like, that really is quite different. And I thought, that colour there is lovely. I'm going to try that one on my lid. You know, and I like a matte shadow, so this is going to work out well. So I tried it and I absolutely loved the look. I was like, this is great. And I did it again the following day, the same look, but they crease on me, the matte shadows, so they're not so good. You know, to me, they're now unusable, and that really disappointed me because I love all of the colours in here. but this one was my favourite. But now I can't use it because it literally creased so badly. I suppose I haven't tried it with an eye primer underneath. So I should try that before I give up on it. Try, you know, that one on my lid with an eye primer to help it stick and see if that makes a difference. But yeah, that did disappoint me, but I do love the other colours in here. They're really, really nice. And the difference to me between this and the Morphe one is just night and day. But this is just, I'll put, a colour on my brush and go in, and it's just barely needs any blends-in, you know, and that's what I love about them. This one, the warm one, I've used a couple of times, and I think I need to learn how to do a warm look. You know, I need to maybe watch a tutorial or something and get some ideas on how to use it. But this has also got cream shadows in at the top there, but I haven't tried those ones yet. I've kind of been put off now. But I love those palettes, and I love Huda Beauty, so this should work out for me, huh? That's everything I can remember anyway. Usually after these videos I'll suddenly remember, like, oh no, I didn't tell them about this, you know. I do try to write everything down that I've bought, or at least take a picture and then go and have a look at the pictures to make sure I don't forget anything. Let me know what you've been buying lately. I don't have much time to watch YouTube and to watch enough videos to know what's new out, so I feel like I'm missing new stuff. You know, I'm like, are there any new palettes out, or is there any new foundation out that I'm missing out on? You know, I feel like I find out about things a lot later nowadays. So let me know anything you guys have been buying. What's new that's really hyped up, and I shall have a look. I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I have got on, well, you know what foundation I've got on. It's this one, the Charlotte Tilbury one. On my eyes is actually the Anastasia Norvina palette. On my cheeks, you know what's on my cheeks is this KVD blush. On my lips is the Too Faced liquid lipstick in Holy Chic. I've got it here actually, and I used the Kiko lip liner with it. You can't get these anymore though. I think that's everything, isn't it? These earrings are River Island. Most of my earrings come from River Island. This top is from Marks & Spencer's. It's a linen top. Love it. It's really, really cool. And that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.